Peace, you know who this is, family. I gotta do this video real quick. Tariq is trying to argue that Beyonce is FBA and not Caribbean. You gotta
To
hear
your
this.
bullshit. Just get to.
Oh, she's from, she has Bahamas
They're not from the. I know they're
ancestry,
not. They're not from the Bahamas.
and she did a whole.
Look, Tariq playing games. Nobody said they was from the Bahamas. They said they had Bahamian ancestry. Remember, FBA go by ancestry. If somebody got a great grandparent that they never met that was from Jamaica, y'all say that they still Jamaican. So that's true for Beyonce too. It gotta be. That's what y'all say about Umar, right? You forgot that you were saying Umar is actually Cuban because he has Cuban ancestry. You forgot you said that, right? And you did the same thing with Roland Martin. He he has a grandparent that was like what? His great grandfather times three, who came from Haiti and moved to America, and y'all was still calling him a Haitian. Come on now. You said ancestry. Don't switch it up now. But we
Album
can continue.
dedicated to Africa. She's an Ifa
Beyond
follower.
not from the her dad is not from the Bahamas.
He said his ancestors go back to the Bahamas, Long Island, Bahamas.
No, it's not. It's not. I saw some interview with
How do you know if you're not Matthew Knowles? How would you know?
Knowles is from Alabama, sir. They're not from the Bahamas.
See, he's switching it up. We talking about ancestry. We're not talking about where Matthew Knowles was born or where he's from. We talking about his ancestry. And in the interview he's talking about, he did say that. That's the reason why he even did the interview to begin with. This wasn't a random interview. He did a whole interview with a radio station in the Bahamas to talk about his Bahamian. I said Bohemian. Excuse me. Bahamian ancestry. His last name is Knowles. Having a last name as Knowles is the equivalent to having the last name as Washington as a black person. You're from the Bahamas. And also, y'all said Ketanji Brown Jackson, shout out to her, was Jamaican. Why? Because y'all use that standard. Because remember, her parents did a whole interview with with I think a Jamaican newspaper, and they did an interview with a Jamaican show. And y'all was using that as proof that she's Jamaican. Because like, why of all places to do an interview would you do an interview with Jamaicans if your ancestry ain't got no ties to Jamaica? He did a interview with people from the Bahamas and stated that his family got ancestry from the Bahamas, and he was interested in trying to trace its lineage to exact individuals. So we're
He
gonna
said
continue.
out his mouth his ancestors go back to the Bahamas. I didn't say that. That's what he said. His mouth verbatim.
No, it's not.
Is she a dual allegiance? Do she fall under the dual allegiance since she made
Yeah.
records about Africa, things like that? She's an Ifa practitioner. She's not a Black Baptist church member. And I wanted to ask you that and about Logic,
Born
the rapper.
was she born in E5 land?
No,
All right.
Now she got to be born in Efi land. See what Tariq do? So dirty. He's so dirty. Now it's like, oh, she wasn't born in that land. She was born in America. Like, what is this? What is this nonsense? Because again, he's bringing up the E5 thing because Tariq said you got to be um, steeped in the culture and be practicing the culture. He's bringing up that Beyonce is practicing an African religion, and she made a whole album about Africa. Anybody else that would have got them called the tether and saying they got dual allegiances. Because again, he say that about Westmore. He said that about Westmore, that he's really Caribbean and he got dual allegiance because he says things about the Caribbean. He does Caribbean stuff, even though he was born in America. His mother, I think his mother or his father, one of them, ancestors go back to the American Revolutionary War. Tariq said this. So this is a blatant contradiction on
but
his
neither
part
was
again.
Westmore. Westmore wasn't born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Look, see, Westmore wasn't even born in Kingston, Jamaica. Like I said, Westmore. So how is Beyonce FBA, and
I don't know
Westmore is not
nothing about
FBA.
Westmore's lineage except he sounds like a tether and he has dual.
So now you don't know nothing about his lineage, and he sounds like a tether, and he has dual allegiance. So how do you know he is a tether? Because you said he sound like one, and how do you know he has dual allegiance if you don't know anything about his lineage?
Allegiance and he's more Caribbean than anything and he shouldn't be our spokesperson.
How he's a more Caribbean if he's a
Because
democratically elected governor
because he's
of.
because he's doing more for fellow immigrants than foundational black Americans. He's rolling out the red carpet for them and said he ain't doing shit for reparations. That's why.
He never said
More lies being told by Tariq. What did Westmore do for Caribbeans that he did more for Caribbeans than he did for black people in America? Name one example. He can't. And then he mentioned the reparations thing. The reparations thing that Westmore killed was a study. And Westmore was saying we don't need no more studies. See, this is the corny stuff we talking about. So y'all said when people say we need a study, y'all say, oh, we don't need no study. You delaying. People say, all right, we not doing no studies. Oh, you killing reparations. You're delaying. You're ruining reparations. Why would you do that? Double speak. But we're gonna
that.
But
You
keep it
can't
on.
find one quote where he said he's not doing anything for Black Americans and shut down. He shut down a
he
study of
ain't
reparations.
doing nothing for reparations. He crashed the reparations out, sir. He's not crashing funds for immigrants out, though. Now, going back to your lie about Beyonce, now let's elaborate on the lie about Beyonce because she's an E5 practitioner. She's what? What does that mean?
She's she's an E5 practitioner. She has ancestry going back to the Bahamas, and according to you,
What she does?
about your logic, she has dual allegiance to Africa and the Bahamas.
What,
She owns a home in the Bahamas,
and
and she also is a
where?
E5 practitioner.
Bahamas? Where's she? Where? Where's she on a home in the Bahamas?
Her and Jay Z bought a home in the Bahamas, I think 2018.
Where you see that?
You could look online. It's not hard to find that out.
And what does that mean? If she has, they probably that's Beyonce and they billionaires. They got homes all over the place.
Yeah, so wouldn't that make her, like dual allegiance if she claiming she has Bahamian ancestry and she live in the Bahamas also, and she's an E5 practitioner? That had nothing to do with um, according to you, foundational Black American culture.
Well, she was born in the culture.
So
Now it's you born in the culture. Wasn't Drake born in the culture? Literally born to the people who made the culture. Who else was born in the culture? Wasn't Roland Martin born in the culture? Who else was born in the culture that you said is not FBA? Um, Carmelo Anthony, wasn't he born in the culture? Wasn't her born in the culture? The list go on and on and on, because most of the people you be calling tethers was born and raised in America. So wasn't they born in the culture? So now you got to be born in the culture. So you could be born in a culture and now you're FBA for being born in a culture. So who's a tether then? If that's the new standard. And wasn't Westmore born in a culture? Westmore was born and raised in America. Westmore is a member of the Divine Nine.
was what's more?
But he identifies more with Caribbean.
He identified.
So now it's about how you identify. So it's not a lineage no more. It's about how you identify. So how is Umar a Cuban? I never heard Umar identify as a Cuban. Never. Never heard it. So how is Umar a Cuban? How is Roland Martin a Haitian? How is Coleman Cruz a Puerto Rican?
As a Black American. He doesn't identify himself as a Jamaican.
No, he says he's Caribbean.
He's a part of the Sons of the Revolutionary War.
He says
Like that's
his ass says he's Caribbean, and he proud
uh, uh,
and then brags about his Caribbean ancestry.
so did Matthew Knowles and
Well,
Beyonce.
no, they don't.
He brags.
Matthew Knowles did in fact brag about being connected to the Bahamas. That's a fact. He did. That's why he did. That's why he made it his business to do a show with the people in Bahamas. They didn't get in contact with him. He got in contact with them. Like you think some random radio station in the Bahamas could get Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's father, to do an interview with them? Unless he wanted to, unless that was something he wanted to make sure the world knew. Come on now. You playing games.
He has ancestors going back to the Bahamas. He didn't say nothing about America. He said I got ancestors going back to the Bahamas.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
Tariq is a liar. Tariq just acknowledged that he heard the interview where he said that. Now he's saying he didn't say
You
that.
just said you seen the interview. Now
No,
you
but
backtracking.
yeah, I saw the interview you're talking about. He didn't say that he had ancestry going back to the Bahamas.
I could quote it
Pull
verbatim.
it up.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
All right.
He said verbatim, I have ancestors going back to the Caribbean, going back to the Bahamas.
No, he didn't. He didn't say that verbatim.
So what did he say, Tariq?
He kind of said something like a joke. The woman, it was a woman.
Now it was a joke. Now it was a joke. So him claiming his Bahamian ancestry was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Interviewing him, and I think he said, "Yeah, I probably do." Ha ha ha, something like that. But he didn't say.
No, he didn't. He didn't say probably do ha 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 ha. And somebody joking like that would have got them called the tether. Anybody else, but because it's Beyonce's father, you don't want to call him a tether because if he's a tether, that means Beyonce's a tether.
That he has some Bahamian or Caribbean and
I,
pull up the
I just Googled Beyonce father Matthew Knowles claim he's a descendant of Bahamas ancestors, and that Beyonce and her sister Solange are Bahamian American. That's what he said.
where's the link and not AI? Where's the link?
Okay.
Oh, but family, yeah, I gotta go. So I'm gonna end this video right here. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching to the end. And like I said, Tariq can't handle it. See, this is what happened when you claim something is one thing and you create all these rules and you gotta constantly contradict yourself. Cause all this, oh, she doesn't rep the Bahamas. Oh, her father was born in Alabama. Oh, she was born in the culture. That's all immaterial to what makes somebody FBA or not by your own logic that you put forth. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching to the end. And on that note, family, peace.